Hello, I'm Ashley Edmonds from Through the Loop Yarn Craft, and today we're going to make my newest pattern release, the Brierley Preemie blanket. I designed this pattern to be part of the Preemie Crochet Challenge, which is hosted by Sunflower Cottage Crochet. And this is the second year for this challenge, and it's been so much fun joining along. This year, I decided to do a preemie blanket, which I've used Comfy Color Mist worsted weight yarn, provided generously from my friends at We Crochet. It's a really nice light yarn, a Pima cotton and an acrylic blend, and I thought it just feels perfect with the right amount of snuggability for the babies. I'm also going to be using a 4.5mm crochet hook, of course, my scissors, and if you want to keep a close eye on the size, you'll need your tape measure and a yarn needle for weaving in the ends. This pattern is really easy to make. I have it listed as easy to intermediate simply because it does use the herringbone double crochet, which can be a bit tricky to get the hang of at first, but once you get it, you breeze right through it. It also uses the herringbone double crochet back loop only. We will go through how to do those in the tutorial, and you'll be able to get it down in no time. Again, this is designed for preemie size, but you can adjust it for a regular baby blanket size or bigger if you wish. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe and like button and let me know, and check out some of my other patterns and tutorials available. You can also find all the written versions over on my blog and follow along with the written instructions as well. And you can sign up for my newsletter so you never miss anything happening over at Through the Loop Yarn Craft. So let's grab our supplies and get started. Okay, so to begin the Brierley Preemie blanket, we are going to start with a chain of 72 to reach the size that I was going for. You can adjust this. We are going to use multiples of 2 plus 2. For the purpose of this video, I will be making mine a little bit smaller just so to cut down on some of the time. So we will start with our slip knot. And we will chain the desired amount of chains in multiples of 2, and then add 2 for our turning chain. So I have 28 chains now. Obviously, this is a little smaller than you'd want for a blanket, but again, for the purpose of the video, I am going to make a little bit of a smaller mini version, which you could also use as a bonding square. So I've got my 28, now I'm going to add 2 for my turn chain, and now I'm going to begin with the herringbone double crochet in the third chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3. So for the herringbone double crochet, we're going to yarn over like we would a normal double crochet, insert into the chain, pull up a loop, and now instead of yarning over at this point, this first loop on your hook, you're going to pull it right through the middle one. And then we're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's how you do a herringbone double crochet. So we'll do that slowly one more time. Yarn over into the next chain, pull up a loop, and then we're going to take that loop right away and pull through that first one. Then we will yarn over, through, and yarn over, pull through both. Now with pulling that first loop through right away without yarning over is what gives this stitch the gorgeous slant to it. So we will continue that all the way across our chain. Pull through right away. For me, I do find it kind of helps to have my thumb there to hold the stitches still. It can be a bit tricky at first, but once you get going, you should get the hang of it, and it becomes a little bit smoother as you kind of get the feel for it. So finish up your chain and I will meet you right back here for row 2. Okay, so once you've finished your first row, you can really start to see the nice slant of the herringbone stitches. So moving on now to row 2, we're going to chain 2 and turn. And now we're going to do the herringbone double crochet in each stitch across again, and that's how the rest of the pattern will move forward as well. Pretty simple and fast moving since we're using just a 1 row repeat. However, going forward, we will be doing stitch in the back loop only. So if you turn to the top here and see your V of the stitch, normally we would go under both of those. For the rest of the pattern, we will be just going through the one. So that's the back loop only. We got front loop, back loop, and normally again you go through both there. And for this pattern, we will just be going through the one loop. So we're going to yarn over, go through the back loop only of the first stitch, pull up our loop, pull that loop right through the middle one that was on our hook, yarn over, go through one loop, yarn over, go through one loop. And we will repeat that all the way across. Yarn over, go through the back loop, pull that loop directly through the middle loop on our hook, yarn over, and yarn over. And we will continue doing that all the way across. And as you can see, by going through the back loop only, it gives us this little ridge of texture in the design of the blanket. So go ahead, finish your row, and we'll meet back here. Okay, so now that I have finished row 2, we will again just repeat that for the rest of the pattern. We will chain 2, turn our work, and do the herringbone double crochet in the back loop only all the way across. For the Brierley Preemie blanket, I did a total of 45 rows. So you can go ahead and finish that up for your 45 rows, and then I will meet you right back here. Okay, now once you have completed your final row, we will do a border. I just did a simple single crochet border on this one. You can stick to that, or you can do any border of your choice and make it a little more fancy. And I've brought back the original larger blanket with my from the pattern to kind of direct you how to start the border if you're new to that. So after I've finished my last stitch here, I'm just going to chain one. And now I'm going to rotate the blanket and start working down the side here. So what you're going to want to do is make a single crochet right into here to begin the border. And now we're going to just single crochet evenly down along the side here. I just kind of put them, there's no particular way I have done it, just kind of evenly space them the best you can and where you can fit it in. If it starts to look a little bit wobbly, you probably have a few too many stitches. If it starts to kind of turn in, then you might want to add a few more. Rule of thumb, just try and get one kind of, if you can notice at the end of every row. But there's not really, in my humble opinion, a surefire way to do this or a very technical way. Just I mostly just trial and error it, make sure I've got what looks like a nice straight even number of stitches along the side. On the top and the bottom, it's a little easier to tell because this is where we started with our chain, just through each at the bottom of the chain from the starting chain. So the sides are a little bit more tricky in that sense. So you just want to continue adding a single crochet all the way along. If you have a particular way you like to do a border, by all means, definitely use your method that you have found works well for you. And once you get down to the bottom of that side where you meet up with your chain, on every corner of the blanket, you're going to want to do 3 single crochets just to help keep that corner nice and crisp. So just in that same spot there, I'm doing 3 single crochets. And here you can crochet around your starting tail so that you don't have to weave that in as much later on. So now going down the bottom, we're just going to put a single crochet in each of those chains from the starting chain. Perfect. So continue that all the way around, and then you will have your finished Brierley blanket. Thank you so much for joining me today while we made the super cute and textured Brierley Preemie blanket. I hope you enjoyed making this one with me. Please do pop by over on Sunflower Cottage Crochet's blog to check out the other amazing patterns from the Preemie Challenge. And don't forget to give a like and a subscribe so you'll always be notified of any new patterns and tutorials I have available for you on YouTube. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!